Hi, my name is Corinne Bloom, and I'm a life coach and mentor. And today I want to talk to you about intuition and cultivating our intuition. So I think with many of us, we think, well, I just don't have intuition, or I don't know how to use my intuition. And really it's something that we innately all have, but we've just forgotten how to use it. And I found this is something that, is such a powerful tool to use in our lives. But it's very tricky to go about using it because we doubt it a lot. And a lot of the reason of why we doubt it is because we live in a society that is primarily focused on the left brain, the logical brain, the brain in general rather than the body. And everything needs to be proven. It needs to have science behind it, or it needs to have a logical, rational reason as to why can I follow that, and give me the proof that it's there, so then I will take the step to follow, that lead. And what it's done to us is it's taken away the sense of conversation that we have with ourselves, tuning in and seeing how we're actually feeling about something, because we're constantly looking for something to prove that the decision that we are going to make will be okay. And we get stuck in this, it's a bit of a conundrum, because we get stuck in this place that really feels like, actually, I don't know how to make a decision, because, sometimes we don't have the proof. Sometimes we don't have the rationale when we need to make a decision. And ultimately what it comes down to is what feels right. That's what's going to guide us into making a decision. So I, for myself, have really shifted a lot into my intuition now that I'm pregnant, because my left brain is kind of shutting off a bit and my focus is so much on my body and what's happening in the process of creating this baby, that it's actually really connected me much, much more to my intuition. But what I've noticed about it is that it's a very, very subtle voice or feeling or sense, which makes it even more difficult to say trust from the logical, rational mind that we're so accustomed to, because it isn't loud. Sometimes it can come through and says, yep, this is what you need to do, and it's very clear, but more often it's a very subtle, gentle feeling. And I want to be mindful of what word I'm using, because the thing is with intuition is there's no right or wrong way, and there's no one way of actually saying this is your intuition. We all experience it differently. So some of us have a voice at the back of our head. Some of us just have a feeling or a sense. And the reason why I say sense is because it might not be similar to an emotional feeling of happiness or sadness. It's just something that you get in your gut or your belly, and it tells you, yep, this is what I need to do. And so the process of reconnecting and cultivating our intuition is about really dropping into the body and setting aside the rational mind that is going to want to have proof. Just say, okay, let's have an experiment and actually just go into the body and see what the body has to say. So for some of you, you might be asking right now, well, I don't know what a feeling in my body feels like. And that's true for many people. We again have learned to live very much from the neck up. And so the sensation in the body is hard to connect to. So a very simple exercise, which I think I've shared in the past, but again, this really, I think is very prevalent for this exercise, is when you go into a supermarket and you're going to pick out what food you're going to have, let's say for dinner, don't go on what you're used to and what you're accustomed to and what the habit is of, I always get this and that, for dinner or for lunch or for breakfast. Go into the store with, what does my body feel like it needs right now in this moment? What is it craving, or what is it wanting, or what does it feel like it needs? And I really stress the word need, because that's what's going to guide you. Sometimes what we want is different than what we need. And needs are very, our body's very clear often with what it needs. So, use that as a practice by, going through your day and making decisions based on what your body feels like it needs in that moment. Another really important part of intuition is knowing that there is no right answer. and that there's no big vision or image that is going to be presented to you immediately. I think we get discouraged because we think, I need the answer, I need it to be the right answer, I need it to be shown to me before I can make a step or a decision or a choice. And what I've really found is that it's much more like connecting the dots of you find life gives you the clues, and you need to put those dots together. And when you put the dots together, then the image appears. So it's really about trusting each step. Each step of the way is leading you towards something. And the more you can stay in the present moment of that individual step, the larger image will become clear. It will come closer to you. And if you can surrender into that, it's actually quite a magical experience of seeing how it unfolds. But I'm not going to lie to you and say that sometimes being in the unknowing is really excruciatingly difficult or challenging. And I've had my moments with the universe where I go, I need the answer, I need clarity now. But it's always been when I get to the point of surrendering and letting go of needing to know that something has come through and shown me, and it's been the next clue, the next dot in the picture, in the puzzle. So it's letting go of the need or the desire to know what the end all answer is. So going back to this kind of, is there a right answer? Intuition isn't interested in what's right and what's wrong, because there is no such thing. In that realm, there is no such thing as right and wrong and good and bad. It's what is true for me now. What does my heart desire right now in this moment? And then you make a choice from that place. And then you might get to the next step on the path, and then you go, okay, what does my body, what does my heart feel, yearn, desire for now in this moment? And then you make a choice and you take that step. So again, it's a gradual process, and when the right and wrong comes in and the shoulds come in, that's often an indication that it's the external voice, it's the voice of authority or of peers, of parents, of God, whatever it is that you feel is the voice that is going to, maybe judge is too hard of a word, but for now I'll use the word judge, whether you're doing it correctly or not. And really that's not up to anybody except for ourselves. We have to come back to what is true for us and take action upon that, and know that we can make a choice and change it. Part of the process is taking a step, falling, failing, and getting up again. I love the quote that says, 7 times falling, 8 times getting up. So life is a process of ups and downs. It is a process of making a choice and failing and starting over again, and not seeing it as a failure, but just part of the process. And I think the more that we let go of this need to know and the need that it has to be right, then there's much more fluidity. There's more space and freedom for this, what I like to call a conversation or a dance. That's our intuition, and that's our relationship to life. It has to have movement. It has to have fluidity within it. So, just letting go of the rational mind that needs to prove, dropping into the body, into the sensation of what feels true for you in this moment, making a choice based on that, knowing that you can change it, just giving yourself that flexibility and fluidity. And a really powerful tip that I'll add on to the end of this as well, that I've heard from many intuitive people and healers that I've personally worked with, is just say it aloud. When the feeling or the sense or the voice comes in, say it aloud, whether it's to somebody else or to yourself, because when you put it out there, you're making it so. And from that point, you can have the choice. You can have the choice how you want to act on it. But at least when we put it out there, we can't say to ourselves, oh, I should have listened to that voice. I should have done that. Why did I keep it into myself? Why didn't I trust that? Why didn't I follow that? We can say, okay, I voiced it, and yet I still made a choice to maybe go against that. And so next time I'm going to practice going with it. So it is a continual practice, and it's a continual journey, I would say, of developing that relationship with yourself. And that's really what it is. It's getting to know the language of your body, of your intuition, which nobody else can tell you how to do other than yourself. And just trusting the little moments, the subtleties that come through. And the more you practice and the more you become accustomed, the better you'll be at trusting it and actually being able to take action on it. So it takes an element of risk, trust, and surrender. But I hope that these have been some insights and some thoughts that can help you on your path. And I really wish you luck on your journey.